Some illegal aliens just took to the New York City Council to complain. You see, because New York City has been flooded by illegal aliens. There are so many illegal aliens in New York causing so many problems that even the liberal Democrat mayor of New York, Eric Adams, is pulling his hair out. He doesn't have any hair left, but if he did have hair left, he would be pulling his hair out about it. He said illegal immigration is going to ruin New York City. He tried to schedule a meeting with the Biden White House to address this. And then coincidentally, a couple days before the meeting, a corruption investigation was launched into Eric Adams. And then he kind of dropped the matter. I think probably a little bit of a heavy-handed message coming from the Biden team saying, quit attacking us on illegal immigration. But even the Democrats in New York know this is a big problem. So many there. Where have they been putting them? They've been putting them at luxury hotels. One of my favorite hotels in New York, the Roosevelt Hotel, became an illegal alien shelter. And I usually spend some time around that area when I'm in New York. I walked by there. It's just fighting age men. It's just young fighting age men from Latin America and from Africa and the Caribbean, all over the world, but specifically the third world. Maybe you see one or two women, one or two kids. It's mostly just young fighting age men, economic migrants, who are just hanging around super nice hotels in New York for free. And now, what are they doing? They're showing up to the New York City Council to thank them for this incredible generosity? No, they're there to whine and complain that the accommodations and the food aren't good enough.
At the shelter, the food, my kids cannot eat the food at the shelter. And on Ramadan time, we couldn't eat because when you come back for the breaks, the food is no good at all. And they give us 2 months to stay at the shelter, and then you have to go out again with your luggages and the kids and find another place. It's very difficult. And also, I have a kid that is like 18 to 19. Until now, he doesn't have no school.
Okay. I'm going to put myself in the shoes of these foreign nationals who have come over here and then just taken our stuff, many of the people who are coming through. I can't speak to these individuals specifically, but many of the foreigners who have come here illegally. And then they come and they take our stuff and they stay in really nice accommodations, at least by my standards. Maybe they have higher standards than I do, but by my standards, Roosevelt Hotel's pretty nice. And they eat our food and they abuse our system of law and they use our resources, including our educational resources, though some seem to use them more than others. But I'm putting myself in their shoes and I say, okay, it's probably disorienting being in a totally different country, totally different culture. It is disorienting if you only get to stay in one sort of free housing for a few months, and then maybe you have to move to some other free housing. And maybe you don't have a private chef who's going to make your meals exactly to your taste every single day. So, I wanted chicken tonight, but instead they served me beef. I don't want beef again tonight. I had beef 2 nights ago. Okay, sure. I'm sure that's a little uncomfortable, and you come to a country that doesn't generally celebrate your holidays because we're not a Muslim country. So you really take Ramadan seriously. Americans don't really know very much about Ramadan because again, we're not a Muslim country. We're happy to accommodate people, but yeah, okay, maybe the Ramadan celebrations aren't quite up to your standards either. Hey, here's an idea. Don't come to our country. How about you stay in your country with your customs and your food and your housing and your resources and your tax base and your system of laws? If you like that so much more, how about you stay there? And if you come to America, how about you say, thank you? How about first you say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I've come here, in many cases illegally. Sorry for breaking your basic laws. You might even consider going back, and if you want to immigrate, doing it the right way. But if you're going to stick around here, how about you just say, hey, thanks for all the free stuff. And thanks for not prosecuting us. And why'd you come here in the first place? Why, if it's so bad here and all the free stuff isn't up to your standards, how about you just consider for 1 second why you even came here in the first place? Now, in a sane, healthy country, the New York City Council would say exactly that to these people. Say, have you lost your minds? Have you lost your minds that you're attacking us for giving you free stuff and treating you kindly and welcoming you? Sorry, we didn't put you up at the Shangri-La. Sorry that you had to settle for the Roosevelt Hotel. But we don't live in a sane country. So the New York City Council basically is on their side. The one way I know that some of these migrants have assimilated to America is they are adopting the kind of language that typifies the American liberal establishment class. What they say is that all these standards that have not been met for the foreigners comes down to racism.
This is unacceptable. This is shameful time in New York history. This city is not friendly for all people. It is anti-African and xenophobic. You all are responsible for this pain and suffering that will affect us for generations to come. But you also can change this for better. New York City should at least live up to the standard it projects to the world. Africans deserve dignity and respect. We are not animals. You have a habit to receive all over immigrants, all over community. Why is it going to be done only to the African? It's because it's an embedded protocol of racism and xenophobia in this city. And I want all my fellow Africans to know what it is that they will face if they come in New York City.
I also would like Africans and Latin Americans and Asians and even some kind of Europeans, not that there's very much European immigration, but I want everybody to know, yes, you don't, when you immigrate into America, especially when you do it illegally, I hope it's going to be a little difficult. I hope there are some barriers to that, to breaking our laws and, effectively erasing our national borders. I hope everyone knows that. Unfortunately, that is not the case, though, because these people get to show up and mouth off to the duly elected representatives of New York City for the New Yorkers, not just completely rolling over and being doormats and giving them every single thing that they want. This is, the words were very difficult to make out because this woman doesn't speak English properly. She hasn't even assimilated enough to speak English properly. But she said that when these foreigners are not given all the food and all the money and all the resources and all the accommodations that they want, that it is racism and xenophobia. It's racism and xenophobia. What are you talking about? Is it racism when I don't get a free room at the Roosevelt Hotel? Is that anti-Italian discrimination? Anti-WASP, anti-Mayflower discrimination? I don't think so. When I break the law, not that I break the law, but if I were to break the law, would that be discrimination if I were arrested? Well, here's the difference. If I broke the law, I probably would be arrested. And these people, at least the illegal immigrants among them, break the law and they're not arrested. They have the red carpet rolled out for them and they're given almost everything they want, but not quite. And the New York City Council just nods along. That's the sickest part. This is where I actually don't totally blame these guys who are part of the waves of mass migration and the illegal immigration, is they are being invited in by the liberal establishment. Joe Biden is inviting these people in. He could not possibly make it clearer that these guys can break our law with impunity. And so is it any surprise when they get a little high-handed about it? When they start to demand even more? No, it's no surprise at all. They've been encouraged in that by our liberal establishment class. The real shame here is there is some degree of shame on the foreigners who are so obviously ungrateful to what they've been given in America. But the greater shame is on the New York City Council. And the greater shame is on the liberal establishment all the way up to Joe Biden. Man, that was a good clip, huh? It was good. Make sure you ring the bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We will see you next time.